Let's talk about Alex Jones. It's 1 a.m. I'm feeling very relaxed, but very bothered by the Alex Jones incident. And I felt like talking to somebody about the Alex Jones thing. But like I said, it's 1 a.m., so who am I going to talk to other than myself? And I might as well record it, so. Because I never post anything, so I might as well post this. So Alex Jones, he was my first step on the red pill journey. I discovered him a couple years ago. I was 15. This was well before the Trump campaign. I'm a pretty young guy, so I discovered him young. I'm still young, but it was a couple years ago, and he was definitely very different back then. Now it's just all Trump all the time, and I'm not all that interested, so I don't listen to him a whole lot anymore. But if it weren't for Alex Jones, I would certainly not be the person I am today, questioning official narratives and accepting uncomfortable truths and whatnot. And I suspect hundreds of thousands of people can say the same thing, and he certainly influenced millions in more recent years. He certainly blew up in popularity during the Trump campaign. And of course, Trump came on his show. I can't believe Trump came on a show. But Trump, I recall Trump said to Alex Jones, he told him that his reputation was incredible. And what that says to me is that Trump has been very woke for a very long time on the globalist question. Certainly not on, issues of race and the JQ, but Trump, he's been woke for a very long time, and Alex Jones sort of woke, and he intended to wage war on the deep state, as it's called, this entire time. But this isn't about Trump. It's about Alex Jones. So there was a Democrat white paper that was leaked recently. It's been being passed around Senate Democrats by Senator, I actually have it right here. Let me just see if I can find the name. Senator, I believe his name was Mark Warren. I have it on my desktop. Platform policy paper. Yeah. U.S. Senator Mark R. Warren has been passing around this white paper. And it's about Democrats planning on controlling social media in order to stop Russian interference. Not just Russian interference, but foreign interference in general. But we know what they really mean when they say that. They mean right-wingers. They mean white people. For example, down here in the paper, and I will link to this paper in the description of this video whenever I get around to uploading it. It basically says, let's see, policy options. Let's see, duty to determine origin of posts and or accounts. It says anonymity and pseudo-anonymity on social media platforms have enabled bad actors to assume false identities, allowing them to participate and influence political debate on social media platforms. So, basically, they want to end anonymity on social media platforms, which is something that's incredibly important for right-wingers in the United States today. We know what happens to even normie right-wingers when they get doxxed. They get fired from their jobs, ostracized from social circles, etc. And it actually gets worse if you scroll down It's just the language they use is really bad here. It says duty to identify inauthentic accounts. Like, what the heck is an inauthentic account? It says in parentheses, not just bots, but in general accounts that are based on false identities. So they want to end basically internet anonymity, and they recommend policies towards the end, policies that I'm not familiar with, but I guess they're sort of EU style policies for control of the internet, and we right-wingers, we know like what's going on with the EU censorship of the internet. It's not good. It's not good at all. And for this to come into the light, this paper, at the same time that Alex Jones has been deplatformed from basically everything but his website, it's not good. I mean, we know the deep state, leftovers from past administrations, these dumb bureaucratic sheep controlled by the intelligence agencies, who are controlled by the globalist financier billionaire class. They're certainly in cahoots with the major social media corporations: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google, you name it. And I mean, all these people who don't, never mind, I won't get into that, but these corporations conspired against Alex Jones to deplatform him all on the same day. This was something that they planned ahead of time. They met with each other and discussed this and decided that they would all take action at the same time. And I wouldn't be surprised if Senate Democrats were taking part in these talks with them, if they had seen this memo and decided to act based on what's in this memo, or something like that. But this is very different from censorship of right-wingers that we've seen on social media platforms in the past. In 2016 and 2017, God Emperor Trump would be removed from Facebook for who knows what reason, and people like Paul Joseph Watson and other major figures would generate a public outcry against the censorship of the right wing, and before you knew it, God Emperor Trump was back on Facebook. So, I mean, we all knew that our pages could be taken down at any time, but we also felt sort of secure, like we could come back and we could get people to speak up for us. But I mean, there's going to be big public outcry against this, but I don't expect Facebook to give in this time. I don't expect these corporations to give Alex Jones back his platform, because they're doing this. Well, they were always doing it for ideological reasons, but this time they've decided that this is the next step in the culture war. This is where they want to take it. They just want to shut down all right-wing ideas, period. So, yeah, don't expect Alex Jones to return to Facebook, or any of these other platforms, YouTube. And that really sucks, because I feel like that's where InfoWars gets most of its traffic. I don't think a lot of Alex Jones's fans and listeners actually go to Infowars.com itself. I think they watch the Alex Jones show on YouTube, and they watch his live streams on Facebook and Twitter, and that's the extent of their Infowars intake. Of course, the people who put Infowars, the people who are the biggest fans of InfoWars are going to start visiting Infowars.com. But not everybody will. They're going to start looking for new content on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and what the left is going to replace Alex Jones with is Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro, the sorts who will never say anything too controversial. So yeah. They're trying to take hold of this Republican revolution against the establishment. They're tearing down. We're tearing down the old people, and these leftist corporations are going to try and replace these old establishment Republicans with a new, younger face that is just as establishment as the old guys and Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro. So don't let that happen. We need to try and divert people to the correct audiences. People have two choices now. Expect more deplatformings coming up. It's not a coincidence that this is happening just before the midterms. InfoWars, whether or not you like Alex Jones, InfoWars has big influence, and they're very good at mobilizing nationalists, American nationalists. And I'm convinced that if it weren't for InfoWars, Donald Trump, I don't want to say he wouldn't have become president, but he would have had a much harder time, I believe. Who knows, maybe he wouldn't have become president without the help of InfoWars, but where was I going with this? Right, that's why they're taking down InfoWars. It's because it's a powerful platform, and people listen to Alex Jones, especially the gun collecting libertarian revolutionaries, and they can go one of two directions with the absence of Alex Jones. They can go to the mainstream right in Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro, or they can come to our side. We can funnel them into TRS, and I don't mean to shill for TRS or Radical Agenda or any of these other alt-right platforms. I'm pretty much neutral on those questions. There's a lot of stupid people out there who spread lies about people like Mike Enoch and Chris Cantwell, and people on 8chan specifically. And it's just stupid. I have a feeling most people know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to go any deeper than that into that issue. But anyways, we want to funnel these people into our camp rather than the establishment camp, which is where YouTube and Facebook and Twitter is going to try and push these megapeds. But yeah, so expect more censorship on the way. First they came for the alt-right. First they came for the Nazis. And now they're coming for the alt-right, the American nationalists, the Make America Great Again crowd is next. Alex Jones, who would be the next most sensible step? Who's next for YouTube to take down? I would guess Stefan Molyneux. That's my guess. I'm betting on Stefan Molyneux. We'll see. Maybe Lauren Southern. Lauren Southern and Stefan Molyneux are doing really great work recently. I've been watching their interviews on TV, and it's really incredible the things that they're getting away with talking about on mainstream television. But yeah, that's something to talk about another time. But they're gonna get rid of them next. So it's really bad if if we lose these platforms and the MAGA-peds are funneled into establishment republicanism, which is basically just progressivism with a speed limit. You know, the Republican Party moves left with the Democrat Party. They stay the same distance apart from each other, but the Democrat Party is moving left, so the Republican Party is moving left as well. Republicanism is just progressivism with a speed limit. And Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro are no exception to that. But Alex Jones was an exception to that. He's a libertarian nationalist, and he's stayed that way for a very long time. But if we fail to protect these platforms and people are moved into the new Republican establishment, then expect EU-style censorship laws, expect hate speech laws, and like I said, InfoWars and these other alt-right platforms are very good at mobilizing the nationalists. When they're gone, Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro, they're not going to use their power to mobilize the nationalists in the same way that the alt-right would. Whether you like it or... I mean, none of us... I mean, the alt-right are cucks compared to us, but, I mean, they fight harder than establishment rightists, right-wingers. But Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro are not going to utilize their power to mobilize the nationalists to defeat these laws. They're going to fail beautifully. They're going to be, well, they're defeatists. They're going to lose with grace. They're going to lose with principles. They're going to die with their principles in their hands. And, yeah, once that happens, once we get the hate speech, once we get the censorship in place, they can do anything they want. They can impeach Trump. They can bring back the TPP. And they will. And then the only hope is, well, I shouldn't talk about that, but I have a feeling you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll leave it at that.